Alright YouTube, what's up? This is Morbid Nexus and I'm here with...
Brian Reyes.
And you did what yesterday?
I got top 8 at the Indianapolis regional, and we're in Dune format, so new band list. And here we're playing Kashtira. So this was my second regional and my second top. So previous top was all the way back in March. I was playing Kashtira as well, but it was before the band list, so where our Rise Hard was a 3 and the Volo Solog. Here we have the post band list Kashtira deck, and let's just get right into it.
Okay.
So before we go into the deck, I have a few shoutouts I want to give. So here we are at Rivals. A lot of people like playtested with me and helped me out with the deck. Shout out to David and JD, Sean for playing Heroes and for also the Rise Hard. Also for people driving me there. I was almost not gonna go, but we ended up going and topping. That's great. Shout out to Peter all the way in Florida. Shout out to Ethan, Chase, Will, Javi, Nick, Preston, Josh, Elijah, Juan, Joel, Matt, Victor, and so many more people there. Like, it was a blast. So, okay. Why cash? Well, first of all, I saw a lot of different rogue decks that were in the meta, and I considered a bunch of them. I was leaning towards Unchained because it seemed like the best one in my opinion, because it could play around evenly. Dark Ruler, it could be really resilient to hand traps, and draw was in the format, and also like pack made it look really good. Also, people are not familiar with it. Also, Infernoble is the same, is another one that is similar to that, but Kashtira is like, I'm familiar with it, and I chose to play it because of that basically. And then at the last minute, I was considering playing Synchron because I hadn't seen any Synchron top, and I wanted to be the one that topped with Synchron, and I really love that deck. But then I tried it at locals, and I was like, nah, this deck is not for me. There's no way. It's like a little bit too hard, and you gotta open like perfect every time, like full combo. It wasn't doing it for me for consistency issues. And then I ended up playing Kashtira, and I just did a week of playtesting because I just had like a week to decide which deck to play, and I ended up just playing Kashtira. So let's go right into it. So let's go into the monsters. First off, we got the standard Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, triple Rise Hard. I think at this point, if you're not playing 3 Rise Hard, you should. The other option between the 3rd Rise Hard and in here would be either a Pot of Desires or Ogre and Prep, because the main reason you break with this deck is because you don't open a Kashtira monster. And Rise Hard with any of the spells, either Birth or Theosis, lets you at least play. So basically, I think 3 should be standard by now. And the one Scareclaw. For spells, we got 3 Theosis, 3 Birth, no explanation needed, the 3 planets, and the Terraforming, as well as the 3 pots and the Big Bang. This is really standard. Now, in this format, I think that one of the main reasons to play this deck is the card that needs to get banned, Dimensional Shifter. You open this, you basically auto-win a lot of matches. Other than this, you need to play hand traps right now instead of board breakers, because if you don't stop certain combo decks, they're gonna basically FTK you. So you gotta play at least some amount of hand traps. And other than Ash, I wanted something that was impactful. People choose to play, even though they're playing Shifter, they choose to play Shifter and Draw in the main deck. Personally, I feel like right now, Draw is a side deck option, not really a main deck option. And basically Shifter more or less does the same thing. But I wanted something that's impactful as well, not just Draw or Shifter. And I chose to play Nib, just 2 of it. Even though it might conflict with the Kashtira cards, you just need something to blow them out, and you can just summon the token attack and crash and then play Memphis 2. That's fine. Or you can just normal summon Rise Hard. Another reason to play a third is normal summon Rise Hard with the Nibiru and make Donner and pop the token, then you can play. Other than that, I chose to play double Emperor. And then these are basically my hand top lineup. First, I was considering playing a third Emperor, but we will get back to that later on. But basically, these are all my hand traps, and this is the engine. For more non-engine, you gotta play the 3 books. No Eclipse. I think 3 is enough. You could consider Eclipse as well, but maybe in the side deck. I don't think Cash is that prevalent that you need more books. It's great against Pearly and Cash, but if those are not the most prevalent decks, then I don't think you should need that much books. Right now, it's like people are playing a lot of rogues where books are not that great if you're playing against a Link deck, so I think 3 is fine. And with the books, 2 Chalice. And in here, coming back to the third Emperor, I'm here got 38 slots. I'm missing 2 cards. The last 2 cards I was thinking was the third Imperm and the third Chalice, but the times I play meta decks and go to big events, I like having a tech card in particular to have something people don't expect. And in this particular case, it was 2 Droplet in the main deck. This, some people might be calling me crazy for playing Droplet in Kashtira, where I'm main decking Shifter, but give it a try. So the logic behind Droplet is, first of all, it's a pseudo third Imperm and it's a pseudo third Lance. So we're fine with that. But people play Shifter and Droll in the same deck and they're fine with it. So it's the same idea. You can play Shifter and Droplet. But not only that, it's just Droplet solves a lot of problems that they're currently in the metagame. So first of all, if you nib, you can send your own nib so that you can play. Or if you get booked, you can send your own monster so you can play. Or prevent certain FTK. So Calamity FTK is an issue. And there are certain boards where you just need high impactful cards. And you might think, okay, I need to send like my entire hand in order to play. But that's not really true, because sometimes when you play Planet, Planet is a free card that you can send off. And also, you might have cards that are quick play that you can chain the Droplet and send them as well. So Droplet solves a lot of problems with the current metagame. As well as one of the things that I've seen this week pop up was Rescue Ace playing the Ibli Lock. And Kashtira has a really big issue with the Ibli Lock, especially if you're locked with the patrol counter. So you cannot go battle first and crash. So you need something to get rid of the Ibli. And you might think, okay, let's just play Lingerable. Okay, I link my Ibli into Lingerable, then what? If they got their stuff in defense, you cannot crash it, you can still not play. There's no point in playing Lingerable. You just need something to out it. Okay, I can Book of Moon my Lingerable, or my Ibli, I can still not play. So you need something that actually gets rid of the thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the Exo deck.
And that's how many cards in main?
40 cards. You cannot play this deck if it's not 40 cards.
Okay.
It's like you need the consistency. And even though
If anyone's tried, it's Brian.
yeah, I've tried more than 40. You cannot. You want more consistency rather than the tech slots. For the Exo deck, we have the standard 2 Shangri-La and the Rise Heart. You could play a third, but I don't think it's really needed. I really like this card. I never tested this card until like last week. It came out a lot in testing. Format Tyrosus is great, and also 2 level 7s making a 31 attack body comes up for OTK lines a lot of the times, and I think I made this once. Double big guy for the mirror matches, and it actually came up the second one in a mirror match, so I'm glad I played 2. I actually ended up summoning summoning both in that mirror match. That Reyes, I really like this card, even though skill lane is not that prevalent. I really like this card. The fact that you can summon it and then tribute it off and continue playing also matters. I never summoned it, but I really like it. Reyes, there are some lines where you go and do 75 damage and you just go into him for the last bit of damage. Otherwise, you need to play into the Nibiru to kill them, and you can just summon like 3 guys, attack for 75, make him on the 4th summon, and then they cannot play without outing this. Unless the first card they play beats this card. Dark Hunt is insane in this deck. I was considering playing 2, but I guess it's not that big of a deal if you just play 1. You gotta play 2 Zeus for the mirror match, and for the rest, the Baron. Baron came up 1 time in a simplified game state, and it won me that match. And then the Donner that you actually need to play in this deck because you play hand traps, and the 2 prosperity targets. In here, a lot of things destroy right now, and this could be basically anything. But I felt like Garura was the most consistent one, where it doesn't matter what they do with their eyes, you're always getting value. It could be Entis or it could be any fossil guy, but they don't get value at the point where they get rid of your Riser. And honestly, you don't need more slots. I think 2 slots for the pod is fine. You'll be surprised by the amount of times you open Unicorn and Prosperity. It's not that high for that to happen. And I don't think I missed anything from that. So I think it was perfectly fine. For the side deck, 3rd Nibiru. I feel like you need 3 Nibiru against certain decks, certain matchups. As I said, you sided rolls. And I chose to play Trust. You could play 3. I felt like 2 was enough because Duster, you need background removal. Duster in a lot of matchups is good enough. Even Duster against Dragons, Rescue Reyes, Labyrinth, like playing 3 Duster is perfect in my opinion. Also, talents for another Trust target. And mainly I played Trust for Herald of the Abyss because purely was everywhere. But I was really surprised I didn't play even 1 purely. So this never left my side deck at all. And then 3 Cosmic Cyclones for cycle removal, anti-spell, and stuff like that. And then the 3 barriers. I actually put this in, I think, like maybe 1 match. This card like never came out for me. Basically because every matchup I had was basically based on Link summoning, not that much into playing in the D barrier. But yeah, that'll be the deck. So let me talk a little bit about my matchups. So my matchups were round 1 I played Dragons. Round 2 I played a mirror match. Shout out to my opponent that round, Emily Danielle. That was a really good mirror match. I think that was the best match I had the whole day. It was really grindy. I had all fun that game. Round 3, I was against one of the guys from here, from Rivals, against Elijah. He was playing also Kashtira, was a mirror match. On 4 was my only loss. It was against Labyrinth. Game 3, he errated me for 5. Last card in hand was Big Bang. There was nothing to do there. It is what it is. You gotta ban that card, please. Round 5, it was Dragon Link again. Round 6, it was Salmon Grade. Round 7, it was Lab. Round 8 was Drytron, which that one was really close. Round 8, shout out to Lucas James for playing Drytron against me. That was a really good match. Round 9, Math Mech. So I was surprised I didn't play any rogue decks that were relevant, like Unchained, Rescue Ace, Infernoble, like Vanadium. Like I was looking every time to my left and to my right. Those decks were everywhere, but I didn't face any of them. So sometimes you just get lucky and don't face those decks. But I was prepared for those. Like, what else I need to say? Yeah, I think I just got Nibiru'd once the whole day, I was like playing around it almost every time I could. And I gotta say, you gotta play this deck not as an OTK deck or more of a control deck. Sometimes you just wanna go for the kill and play into Demiru. You just have to hold on a little bit, control the board, pass to them, and then in the next turn you just kill them. So the more times I play this, the more I learn. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. Thank you for making the video.
Okay, this has been Ryan Reyes with his top 8 Indianapolis Regional Kashtira deck profile. And even pulled the Nightmare Magician to match the play.
And one more thing, shout out to Puerto Rico.
There it is. All right, this has been Mormon X signing out.